Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ukulele Underground Podcast Live. My name is Aldrin Guerrero. Joining me are Mr. Aaron, the voice, Nakamura. Say what's up, Aaron.
What's up?
And Mr. Kahai, the legend, Fergan. Say what's up, Kahai.
What's up?
Gentlemen, it is a Friday. You know, an off Friday, I should say. I don't even know what to, what to call this. Because
a podcast Friday.
Yeah, Pod Friday. Frodcast.
Not that.
Yeah, maybe
not that.
Yeah, okay. It's Ukulele Underground Podcast Friday. That's what it is. That means we are here to talk ukulele. We're here to answer any and all of your questions, whatever it may be. Maybe about playing, maybe about care, maybe about ukuleles in general, or it doesn't even have to be about ukuleles. You can ask us about anything, right, Kai? Like financial stuff, like relationship stuff.
No financial advice.
No.
Yeah.
We are not authorized to give that.
You don't got any hot leads and some trends, Kai? What to invest in and stuff.
Invest in yourself.
It's got a hot tip.
Yeah.
To invest in Blockbuster, everybody. It's gonna blow up soon.
Yeah.
Hot tip. You heard it here
financial
first.
Advice.
No. We're not legally to have any financial advice. No, but it is a Friday. That means we're here. We're here to talk to you folks. Thank you so much for tuning in live. But for those of you folks who are listening to this as a podcast, thank you very much for putting us in your ears, I guess, right, Kai?
Man, you have all the sayings today.
Well, the people who are watching it live were subjecting their eyes and ears to us. But some people are I'd rather maybe not look at him the whole time. Nah. This is our first podcast of the year, Kahai?
Yeah.
2022. Right on. Welcome to 2022, everyone. If you didn't watch last week's Aloha Friday Live Jam, welcome to the new year. It is 2022. We're looking forward to some awesome stuff here at Ukulele Underground and just ukulele in general, or just the world in general, right? The world's awesome, right, Kahai? It's doing so good right now.
Yeah.
Lots of things to be excited about,
Yeah.
But yeah. So, Kahai, what we usually do here is we answer questions. We get questions via email, via text, via voicemail, via, hey, Aldrin down the street, whatever. However we can get carrier pigeon, sometimes we get, whatever question it may be, we'll try to answer as best as we can. I'll give my answer, and then these two guys will give their answers, and we'll come up with the best possible answer just for you. Okay, so here we go. Kahai, what is the first question of the day, bud?
This will be a fun one.
Yeah, okay.
Somebody in the U Plus forums.
Okay.
So Simon asked,
yes.
Any of you catch the Get Back? What are your thoughts on it?
Oh, I did not. I did not. I know. We were just talking about this right before the show went on. That I actually I'm cleaning up on some other shows first. I don't want to pay for Hulu, Disney Plus, Netflix, Paramount, whatever, all these streaming services all at the same time. I try to stagger them. So I try to build up a library of stuff I don't want to watch. So I cancel that that one or two subscriptions, and then I'll watch the next one. So I just recently got Netflix back after not having Netflix all year, all of 2021. Got my Netflix back in December. Pretty stoked, so I've been watching some stuff there first before I go back to Disney Plus. But as me and Kai were talking, I did watch Encanto, which was good. Not great, good. Not Coco,
but not Coco.
Pretty good.
Level
It's pretty good. Yeah, not Coco, great, but pretty good. Like Raya. It's pretty good. But as far as Get Back, I heard there's new stuff that for those people who don't know, Get Back is the Beatles documentary that's out on Disney Plus right now, and usually when I'm on Disney Plus, I watch season 30, episode 3 of The Simpsons, just so that I can get a little bit more royalties off of that. Kahai, go watch it. You canceled your Disney Plus subscription. Man,
no. I saw Disney Plus.
Come on, I need it, but I need some views on that episode. So, yeah, I didn't see it. I heard there's new footage and stuff, and it really puts a kind of like a fly in the wall of a bunch of geniuses' creative process. Is that correct, Kai? Did you see it?
No, that's why I was this is gonna be a fast one. I didn't see it either.
Okay, I guess the answer is no. I didn't see it. I'm
Not
going
yet.
to. No spoilers, everyone.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
Yeah,
I don't want to know how the album that they're making came out. I don't want to know. No spoilers, everybody.
They're still together, right?
Yeah, whoa, shush.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't even know that. I didn't read the synopsis, Kai. I don't know anything that happened to the Beatles. So just All right? Relax. I'll get there next month after I finish off everything from Netflix.
Yeah, I'm sure all five of them are still together, right? Yeah.
But it's kind of cool because it's kind of reinvigorated like Beatlemania just for a little bit. Like everyone's talking about the Beatles and people were like doing Beatle covers like on on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok and stuff. It's kind of cool to see like all this stuff again. So I'm like, hey, like I like the Beatles. It's wouldn't be jumping on the bandwagon because I've always done Beatles songs like once a year here at Ukulele Underground. If anybody noticed, like so this month, what do we have, Kahai? What was this month's lesson?
All of my loving. I was like, is it all of your loving? All of loving?
All of me, all of you, all of
Yeah, what?
That's how it goes.
all my loving, all my loving. And then
This Beatles song.
when does the next UE Plus solo come out, Kahai?
Cross your fingers tomorrow.
Okay, that's a Beatles song too. And just as spoilers for those people who who are checking it out, Kahai, what are you working on for tomorrow's UE Plus solo, or perhaps let's just say this weekend? It'll come out this weekend.
Yeah. Strawberry Fields Forever.
Strawberry Fields Forever, one of my favorite eccentric ukulele or Beatles songs. I love playing on my uke. Sounds really melodic, nice and simple. Keeping it good for like the UU Plus solo audience. But it's doable. I dig it. Dig it a lot. What do you think, Kai? Easy, not too easy, kind of hard, very hard. What would you put it? You're the one editing it, so.
I think there's spots that will be challenging, but it's not. The overall song isn't too bad. So if you just kind of like take your time with those spots, I think you'll get it.
Is there any like tricky timing in this song?
Yeah, but if you just listen to the song and you just hear it in your head, then you're not gonna have a
Just
problem.
fine. Okay. All right.
If you try and like 1, 2, 3.
You just gotta know the song.
Yeah.
Because it is a psychedelic song, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
even like the kind of the swing to it is like all loopy and kind of weird. So yeah, you
Loopy's a
just
good
gotta-
way to describe that tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Love that song. So I'm pretty stoked to put it out for you folks, and I'm stoked to hear people's versions of it. Like learning it on UU Plus and coming to me on the private lessons, and bringing it to the table because I've got some stuff that I could point out for some people. So next question, Kahai.
Yeah. So Harvs
Harvs.
was asking specifically about.
Okay, wait. Pause. You have to read Harvs's comment or question or letter in the Harvs tone.
Oh.
You know exactly what I mean.
Like,
I've seen messages from Harvs.
yeah.
Brada is a brada.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I rewrote his question because
okay.
Yeah, just to make it clear. But,
Okay, no. I want to hear it in the original Harv's comments. Now, don't paraphrase for some people.
Okay,
I want
yeah.
to hear it in its original form. Go ahead.
Yeah, he had some good things. He said,
Okay.
Hello, Ukulele Underground. First and foremost, I extend my formalities. I hope the U staff are having a safe and joyous holiday season. Also, keep up the good work. I'm so happy learning from Adrian. The only thing I regret is not signing up sooner. I just learned Clearwater's Credence. Have you ever seen the rain? Overdrive dual style.
Nice.
Special request. Can Aldrine play it on the next podcast, or do you have it on a podcast? Simple song in the key of F. I want to see how Aldrine would jazz it up with some picking riffs. You may use my name like Uncle Harvs on Lanai. What a great guy.
Yeah, no. And I always look forward to like Harv's like comments and messages through Ukulele Underground, and that's kind of tame. I thought he was gonna go a little bit more local. He usually puts like local, he speaks pidgin in the in the comments and messages.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, I want to hear Kahai do the pidgin. But
Wait, he lives on Lanai?
yeah.
Yeah.
He's from Lanai or he lives there currently?
I think I talked to him, and I don't know if he lives on Lanai, and he also might live on Oahu or like travel back and forth to Oahu a lot, because I know he does real estate too, I think, on Oahu and stuff
Oh,
like
okay.
that too.
Oh,
So
cool. Yeah, I mean, Harv's has been, UU Plus member for a long time. Unfortunately, I do know the song, but I've never played it like ever in my life. Like, so I do know that, I do know that tune, but I'll try to learn it one day and maybe just out of nowhere, like do it on the pod. So I can't do it on this or the next podcast, but
Yeah.
I will.
Well-
It's a fun song. It's a good song. It's kind of a classic. We might,
We'll just do it as a regular lesson.
Yeah,
maybe.
that's a classic. That's actually a really good request. I think people will be stoked to learn that song. So good job,
Yeah.
Harps. We'll keep that on the list, not in the back burner.
well,
In the
well, I
list,
actually,
natural list.
I actually pulled up like the song.
Okay.
And
Let me see.
Harv said it's in F, but I think he might have been confused. I think it's in C. Yeah.
I think I've played this with either from U-Space, Jason Arimoto, or I've played this with like Cynthia, like as in one of Cynthia's like songbooks and stuff. Like I wanna know, have you ever seen rain? I wanna know, have you ever seen rain? Right?
Yeah.
So I'll learn it, and then maybe we'll do it as a lesson because that's a good one. I think people will be stoked to learn that.
I was thinking, like, do you have any tips if Harv's is trying to like solo or improvise, like specifically with that song?
Oh,
like,
that particular version of the song is in C, so C scale. If you want to take it easy, pentatonic C scale, just go crazy. I would follow like the drums and the beat and stuff for that rhythm, so that like kind of bounce that I'm adding there. It's kind of following the groove of the drums and percussions and stuff, and yeah, that would be my advice. Follow that and just run off with the C pentatonic.
yeah, I think that song is actually like it's pretty simple. Like it's not too crazy, and so I think that's also something to take into consideration, right? Is like if you start going off and you just start going like all over the place, or just start trying to pick super fast, or just cram in a bunch of notes.
Yeah.
Then it might be like, it's not really like following the spirit of the song, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of that song is like just there's a lot of open space where like even have you ever seen the rain, right? He holds the notes between that, so
Yeah.
kind of consider that too if you're thinking about improvising or picking.
But yeah, thanks for the suggestion, Uncle Harbs. Uncle. Can we call you Uncle? Uncle Harbs?
Yeah,
Is that what he
that's it.
said?
Yep.
Right on. And next message, make it a little bit more pigeon so that when Kahai reads it in the show, he has to read it in pigeon. Please?
I'm sure he would be happy to do that. Yeah.
I'd be happy to oblige. I like it. When people just kind of speak their heart, like onto the messages, I dig that more because it's like it's legit. You know what I mean? Like it's just being real, Kahai. I love it. Love it. That's why I like getting texts from my friend Boy, because his texts are exactly like how he talks.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes me like a few seconds to decipher what he's texting me, but it's awesome. I love it.
Susan in the chat was
Yes.
like, can you give examples of pentatonic?
Oh, so easiest way to explain that is basically and since it's in the same key, the riff for My Girl.
So what key is
So
that?
it's that's in the key of C. So it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, say yes.
What are you-
5, 6. I was like,
what are
1, 2,
you
3, 4,
numbering and what is
Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6.
Wait, what are you numbering?
Oh,
and-
and the C scale. So C, D, E, G, A. Those are the 5 notes in the pentatonic scale. Penta, 5, So pentatonic scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So you would take the notes of the scale
and just
number the notes.
Yeah, number the notes. So
And then
1,
you
2,
only
3,
play-
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And just play the 1, 2, 3, and 5, 6 of that. Can you play me a 2, 5, 1 in C? So if, because that's kind of like, make me a 4, 5, 1. So I want to know, have you ever... And there's 6. Yeah, there you go. 4, 5, 1, 6. So you can just play it. sounds like super good. You know what I mean?
So
It's
you
like
just- you
take
just-
the best 5 notes out of
Yeah.
the 7 notes possible, and you should sound like just go crazy. Just take the groove, take the rhythm that's already there, and just play around with those 5 notes that you have, like based on the groove. Kind of notice that we're going to play it again. So the groove is this: da 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 da. And it extends. So this is, you're back to like 1, 2, 3, then 5, 6 here, you know? Like, so it just repeats over and over again. Those are basically just, and the simplest way to think about it is just the best 5 notes of like the 7 note scale.
Yeah.
So you
Just fool around with it, just play
Yeah.
whichever one, pick whichever one you want. Make it kind of like a melody in your head, you know, and just put it out using those notes. You don't even need like a melody in your head if you just have like a rhythm, you know, in your head for the groove. So dun 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 dun. For me, I got bumps, bum 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 bum, right? And then just kind of I just went through that, you know, that scale with that rhythm. So what makes that scale so good is that, like, yeah, you can start from anywhere and end anywhere as long as you're there kind of rhythmically. It should sound good. Like,
So this is kind of like the beginning of learning to
Solo.
improvise,
Yeah, improvise.
right?
I think even when we talked about soloing and improvising before, you even gave the suggestion, right, to like just go with 1 or 2
note.
notes. Yeah. So like just because when people go with a lot of notes,
Yeah.
it stops sounding like melodic and like a song, and it kind of, you can tell when people are like, oh, you're cramming more notes into just this amount of time.
yeah,
You're
you
trying
hear
to-
that, Abe? It's too many notes.
Why can't you just play the right notes?
Well, you can play a lot of notes and make it sound good, but
Yeah, when somebody is just trying to play all the notes,
Yeah.
I think it's kind of easier to scale it down than to tell people like, okay, here is the 20 notes on your fretboard that you can play and go nuts with.
yeah.
It's easier if you tell them like, start off with 1 or 2, you know.
Yeah, especially when you're starting off, because it just gets to be too much. if you're-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just have like 7 notes, but then they're like, maybe just do these 5, you know? Like, these
Yeah,
5 are
that's
good.
what the pentatonic scale is for, right? Just limiting your note choice
Yes.
so that you can think in the space of time that you have to think. Yeah.
And
It's
like-
cool, and that's like, sorry to cut you off, but you know, if you're doing stuff like blues and like that's kind of the basis of blues. That those notes, the minor pentatonic scale, and when you play that and you just add that like the blues note or the devil's note in between there, so I was like, oh snap! All of a sudden, I sound
Bluesy.
all that I'm doing is notice it was 1, 2, 3, right? As far as the scale notes, I'm just playing the notes between 2 and 3, and the notes between 5 and 6. So notes between 2 and 3, and note between 5 and 6.
Yep. I was gonna say, I think when you start playing with other people too, and you're not trying to like bash on somebody or do anything, but then I'm sure you've experienced this where somebody will like, they're like a newer or younger musician and they're playing and they're doing the thing where they're cramming all the notes in.
Yeah.
And then it goes to the next person and they just play like 1 or 2 note.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know if you watch BB King, he'll do this sometimes where it's just like, I'm going to show you how much soul I can put into just this one single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when they do that, it's like, if you're the person who's like cramming notes in, it's kind of like, Oops. Oh, I get it now.
Yeah, it's about the soul. But like Aaron said, guys like Abe can play like a million and one notes and make all million and one notes sound like, oh yeah, each one of those are supposed to be there, and it sounds
like,
awesome.
If there's a broader context for it, and if it. Yeah,
but
if
sometimes
it's going somewhere.
Yeah, but sometimes if you just sound like you're playing scales, it just doesn't,
It's like
sound that great.
Yeah, I think if you scale it down to just a few notes, you can make it sound more purposeful, and then you add more notes and you keep that purpose in there, right?
Yeah.
Because if you just play notes without a purpose, then that's when it sounds like, they're just kind of like showing me, the C scale really well on your fretboard.
Big man energy.
Wow.
So Steve in the chat said, how important is it to learn scales?
Well, if you want to solo, if you want to improvise and make up your own stuff, learning skills very, very, very important. It's kind of like learning the building blocks of making music. It all starts from scales. So when you're playing, say, like a C chord, that's, sure, you can just go, oh, yeah, this is C, this is F, this is G, all good. But if you want to understand what makes that a C, what makes this a F, and what makes that a G, and why you play them together, and why they sound good together, it all starts with scales. And that's music theory. So you just kind of learn all the whys and stuff. Kind of like, you can learn how to speak like a language or English. Let's just say you can learn how to speak English, but without knowing like what a noun is, what a verb is,
or how to read it or write.
Exactly, or
but
read
you
or
can
write.
speak and you can communicate.
So same thing. You can learn how to play your instrument without knowing music theory, but knowing music theory kind of helps you understand the music a little bit more and move a little bit further with your with your skills that way. Because we were just talking about the Beatles. The Beatles didn't know music theory. They just like played whatever sounded good. I think eventually they learned music theory, but when they were just starting out, they're like, this chord sounds good. And people who listen to it are like, oh snap, why would you put that chord there? But it sounds awesome, so. I'm definitely for music theory, but I'm not saying that it's like you absolutely need it to to sound good and stuff, because people just play what's good. But it's easier to sound good if you kind of know, if you have rules set for yourself that are like, okay, well, I know this and this and this sounds good, so that you know how far you can push the envelope. Or like, oh, what about this? Like being experimental about it. At least knowing what's possible and what's already there.
Yeah. And music theory, it really is like a shorthand for musicians to communicate with each other, right?
Yeah.
So like what you did with Aaron, where you told him like, play the 2-5-1. Aaron can know what chords to play without like you going, oh, that's D minor, G, C, or spelling out exactly what chord it is.
Yeah.
So it really comes, and there are professional musicians who, like you said, like they don't know any music theory, and if you tell them that, they'll be like, just play and I'll kind of follow you. I'll figure it out as I go along.
And there's nothing wrong with that, and they probably will follow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've played with a bunch of people that didn't know music theory, but like as soon as I started playing, they're like, oh yeah, it's this or whatever.
Even played with musicians who didn't know chord names.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
but if they watch your hand,
they know
can follow
like, okay,
along.
it's this or whatever. Like I'm still that sometimes. You know what I mean? Like I don't know like the more complicated, super duper long like ukulele chords and stuff. Like if I were to say watch Benny Chong play, like I might know maybe half the chords that he's playing, like by name, but I know the shape and I know
Yeah, you could kind of figure out what key he's in and then play
and
notes
why
that
he's playing that
are safe around them.
Yeah, because a lot of times it's just like extensions, that I don't know about. So for example, like here's like an E minor. You can play the E minor like this, also with the E on top. Like you can, you already have that E minor with these top 3 strings. So you're adding another E in there, but that means you can use that E to like make an extension. So that would be,
you'd have to think about
I'd have to think like, what is that? Where does it fall?
Yeah.
Do I consider it as a, like a flat whatever or a sharp whatever? Like that's the part that I'm not. You need some high level
But when you're playing music and you're playing off the other person, you're just going with the feeling or what sounds good.
Right. Yeah. But like during, I can figure it out. Like eventually I can go like, okay, it's this, and this. So it must be this. But if he's playing, like I couldn't figure it out like as he's playing. But someone like say like Abe who went to like to Berkeley and has all these degrees and stuff, you'd be like, oh yeah, he did this, and this. You could probably comp the like the whole song that Benny played and like right after he plays it,
Yeah.
So there's those high level like just music monsters in the ukulele world that people should really be aware of.
Yeah. I think people see music theory and they get scared of it because like somebody in the chat said that it sounds too complicated. And if you get into music theory and you're not enjoying music because you like somebody, theory is like making it more confusing or whatever, then maybe just take a break from it.
Yeah.
But it's just it's another tool set in your belt. It's not like a necessity to play music,
Right.
but when you run into the situation where somebody just throws out like, hey, play a 2-5-1 in D.
Yeah.
Then you'll be like, oh, I know that, I can play it, right? You don't have to be like, wait, guys, I'm not quite sure what a 2-5-1 is or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's just about being like prepared or like having it there in case you need it for whatever situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So before we move on to the next thing, because it is the new year, we just passed Christmas, and I check my mailbox once a month. So the mailbox is here. We got a few mail from our lovely audience and our awesome UU Plus subscribers and just people who are our good friends in general. So let's save the big one for last. I'm gonna share these things. So we have this is a box of stuff that I got. So here's my. So first off, we have this, which is a gift for you from it says, enjoy your gift from Kathleen Kendrick. So our very own Kathleen Kendrick, UU Plus subscriber, gave us jars of Lilikoi butter.
Oh, the Lilikoi butter.
The Lilikoi butter.
Yeah.
So jars of Lilikoi butter. If you guys don't know what this is, you're missing out because Lilikoi butter is the bomb. So Lilikoi is passion fruit. So this is basically passion fruit butter. Like you have it like apple butter and things like that. It's kind of like that, but passion fruit flavor. Lilikoi to be exact. So right on, Lilikoi butter for everybody. Thank you, Kathleen Kendrick. Kathleen's so good, and she's been a UU Plus subscriber for like a long time, and she's getting better all the time. She's actually like one of my favorite kinds of student because like every month, we do 2 private lessons here in Ukulele Underground, right?
Yeah, for UU Plus members.
So Kathleen, without fail, every month I'll always see her name twice every month.
Nice.
And that's like
Taking
somebody who's
advantage
you know what I mean? Like
of
so he takes
the
advantage
perks.
of the quirks, somebody who wants to get better and is trying like their best because they're showing up. Like the first thing is show up, like so she watches the videos, she jams and so and asks like a bunch of her other musician friends. She teaches hula and stuff, so she has interest in that kind of field, which is cool for me to be able to help out with her ukulele playing a little bit. So thank you so much, Kathleen. Here we go. We got some. We just got a letter from these people. I don't want to show the other side. So first off, from the Gong Show.
Oh yeah.
The Gong. So the Gong sent us their card. Happy holidays from the Gong family. I'm gonna exact the name there. I might not want their names, on our screen. But thanks so much, Russ. Russ, also one of our longtime friends, man. OG Ukulele Underground member and friend in general. This one is from Chris and Sue Kintz.
Nice. Chris and Sue.
Yeah, so if you guys are listeners of the podcast, longtime listeners, we featured their song, like on the openings and stuff, and they're very awesome. They're very
They usually show up for the open mic every month.
Once again, show up, like it's she wrote us a very like they not just Sue. So Chris and Sue wrote us a very nice long letter. I'm not going to bore people with with that, but this one's nice and short. This is for us, that's why, So it says, enjoy the holidays with your families and friends. Catch up on some good downtime. Many blessings, Chris and Sue. Oh, so nice, very nice.
Thank you.
This, like Peanuts greeting card that we got. Nice. Yeah, Christmas card. This one is from Michael C. Wiggins. Michael C. Wiggins. So this one I just got. I actually did not. I wanted to open it like right now. So I rechecked my mail again. Got this. Awesome. Is this?
Yeah.
Oh, they made that. They drew that.
Oh wow.
That's so sick. It's three snowmen. Okay. The first. Can you get a close up on this? Because this is awesome.
Yeah.
Three snowmen. Maybe.
You gotta bring it
act
to
like
you,
this.
and it's a little hard to.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 snowmen. Okay, so the middle one, which I'm guessing is me, with the kanile ukulele with the slotted headstock, with my hats. I'm playing. Here's Aaron with his hats and his fluke. Yeah, and we got Kahai over here with the boom mic trying to mic me up as I jam. Right on. Thanks so much. So inside. Aloha. I saw y'all had a blizzard and flood in Hawaii. Hope you had this time to build a snowman. If not, here are a few for you. Sorry, I'm terrible at reading like cursive, like really small cursive. Yeah. Happy holidays to you and your families. Aloha, Mike Wiggins, aka Yoda.
Yeah.
Yoda, that's his name. I'm like, I don't recognize this name. Yoda, what's with the art? Right on, man. This is like refrigerator worthy.
Well, I think Mike is a friend of Yoda, right? And Yoda sent from what is it, like Tatooine or
nice, awesome. So this is from Yoda.
Thank you.
Wow.
One more card. So this one is it just has an address. It's all the way from Vermont. Devin. Again, another one that I didn't check until today. Aldrine, Aaron, and Kahai, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you all for teaching people how to create their own joy with music. Have a wonderful holiday, and with luck, we could another in-person festival. Yeah. Right on. All the best, Devin Jones. Yeah, cursive. People like write beautiful stuff in beautiful cursive writing, and I'm just like,
you can't do that. Yeah. Or read it.
Yeah, they're like, I'm one of those people that like the older people make fun of, like millennials read this, like cursive writing. I'm like, I'm not a millennial, but dang, I still can't read it. So la right on. Thank you so much, Devin. Awesome. Of course, Devin, met in person. We jammed out. We have a recording together, I think, right? Like me and Devin did a tune together. So I've recorded with the man. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Why? Is he on?
Yeah. And I was just thinking, Devin is like the first time we met him, he also made his own shirts. Like that's how much.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He made the KFC shirts. And say "See you in the boardwalk" or like.
Yeah. See you on the boardwalk.
See you on the boardwalk. Okay, this is from our biggest fans, actually. So, biggest present from our biggest fans, Craig and Sarah. Craig and Sarah, thank you so much for sending over this lovely, lovely Christmas box of mystery. But it didn't have like a logo and stuff. Really? Oh. Oh yeah, there it is. Hawaiian host. So I'm already getting excited. I'm salivating because Hawaiian host can only mean chocolate. Ba-boom. Oh, Melikaliki Maka says from Craig and Sarah. You guys know Craig and Sarah. Who doesn't know Craig and Sarah at this point? If you're an ukulele player, right? Like, you should know Craig and Sarah, right?
Why is it always Craig and I think it should be Sarah and Craig.
Sarah. Oh, you talk to Sarah about that.
Yeah.
I'm sure she would love to hear that from you. She's like, yeah, it should be Sarah and Craig. So I guess just for today, we'll go Sarah and Craig sent this over to us.
Let's start the trend.
Yeah, let's start the trend. Hashtag Sarah and Craig. So, beautiful. This is like an assortment. This is the Founders Collection Holiday Trio of signature premium dark milk and honey coated and milk chocolate whole macadamias. Macadamia nuts. Like I live in Hawaii and it's like nothing but macadamias. Still not sick of it. Good stuff. It's like good fats. It's awesome. You guys ever use macadamia oil when you cook? I have not because it's too expensive. But I heard it's good. 2 of these. And dang, this is like, because I don't see this in stores and stuff. This is some like they had to, they had to go through some like black market chocolate, like to get this stuff. Founders Collection Dark Chocolate. Speaking of dark, boom.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Right? Like, have you seen this box like at like an ABC store or any?
No.
It's
Premium.
It's always tough to get like other people in Hawaii, like Hawaiian host stuff, because it's like I could have gone and like bought that,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
this I could not have
Premium,
bought.
yeah.
Ooh, of course, if you got green, you have to have red. Very, very, very Christmas colors. So this is the milk chocolate version of the Founders Collection. Whew. Founders Mamoru and Aiko Takitani. I knew that. Just a fun fact for everyone. And last but not least, another milk chocolate, because milk chocolate is the bomb. And that's it. Thank you so much. Hashtag Sarah and Craig.
Yeah.
You got it started, Kai. So, Craig, don't get mad at me. That was all Kai's idea.
It might be because they own CraigandSarah.com, but they don't own SarahAndCraig.com.
Really?
Yeah.
Who owns SarahAndCraig.com?
It's like a wedding between Sarah and Craig in Vail, Colorado.
When does that website end? Because I want to buy it.
I don't know. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm gonna make a Sarah and Craig like fan site.
That's what we should have got them for Christmas. We should have bought them the domain.
Oh.
What if
Great.
But yeah, there's actually one more gift. My girlfriend's brother bought it for me, and it's
Ooh.
up there next to the.
automaton?
No, yeah, next to the automaton.
Automaton. Oh, that is. I heard stories. I don't think I've ever had it. So here I get Aaron's girlfriend's brother gave him the bomb. Says beyond insanity. So
As a running joke on this podcast about hot sauce,
yes, this is.
the worst hot sauce in the world, basically. Yeah.
You gotta try it. Not today. Not today.
Not today.
I gotta pop some antacids before that, and then we do the channel. No antacids for this guy. Kai, just take it.
Sure, yeah, you can do that.
So if you guys ever want to send us anything, cards, whatever, just like a nice letter, right here it is. Ukulele on the Ground, P.O. Box 1027, Kolo, Hawaii 96766. That's where you send stuff. P.O. Box 1027, Kolo, Hawaii 96756. Sorry, 96756. And that's why I check it like once a month, because I no longer live in Koloa. So that's not my address. That's just a P.O. Box that, that's there, so we can get stuff for this show. Tonight, got you that?
No.
The different brother.
Yeah.
Okay, then I don't know. do you want to say who so that we can thank that? Yeah.
Yeah, Corey.
Corey. So thank you so much, Corey. All right, thank you everyone for sending us some awesome stuff. I had like a nice box of Christmas things. Now we can maybe put it up here somewhere or decorate a little bit more. Thank you so much. We appreciate any and all of the cool stuff that you guys send, and we try to include it in either in the back here or in some places over here where you might not be able to see it, but sometimes in some shots you see it in the videos. So. Yeah, we are appreciative to all the people who send us stuff, and we love it. Thank you so much. I feel so loved, Kai. Just extending that Christmas spirit just for a couple more weeks in January.
Yeah.
Right on. So Kai, next question, bud. You have questions? Yeah.
Earlier, Marima asked about like the pentatonic scale.
Yes.
It's like, or like just that in general. Can you use that in place of like more complicated picking? Like if there's a more complicated picking, can you just like play a pentatonic over it?
Yeah. I mean, pentatonic scales. I use it mainly to improvise, but you can create like nice like melodic lines or melodic riffs and stuff. So that's what it's used for, because like we said, it's taking like the best 5 notes out of this scale. So you can create all sorts of different things for all sorts of different reasons. So if you don't know a certain picking in a song and you want to improvise on that instead of playing the actual picking, if the picking's too hard, for example, yeah, you can totally use the pentatonic scale. Next question.
Okay. Yeah, we'll go to questions from our chat. We took some, but
Yes.
we'll go to. Okay, so Carefree Delight said, "What is your best drum sequence?"
Talking pattern. That's my
I
best
guess
strumming
so.
pattern. The one that follows the groove.
Yep.
Because strum sequence, strum patterns and stuff, like it's all kind of set in stone. I'm not too fond of it, I was instrumental in promoting that, I guess, like early on in Ukulele Underground, and now it's almost kind of like I'm trying to undo all the things, all the damages that I've done, because a lot of people tend to hang on to these, sequences or patterns and stuff instead of just following the groove. Like there's a famous like doo-wop bass player lady who I saw this clip of, and she's like, we played the bass line just according to the metronome, and she's playing the metronome, and it sounded like drums after she started playing bass to it and stuff. She's grooving to that metronome. I'm like, oh snap, like that sounds so. That's how you're supposed to play bass, I guess, But kind of same thing where like you don't want to like put a label on what you're supposed to do during the song. Like it's good to kind of be free and just play what feels right. If the song is going towards a climax, for example, you might play a little bit more rhythmic. If it's kind of like a slower part in the song, you might want to hold back a little bit. So it just depends, because if you're playing a strumming pattern, for example, it's just like I'm playing the strumming pattern the entire time throughout the whole song, and it's gonna sound very stale afterwards, because imagine playing the drummer or having a drummer play the same exact drum beat throughout the whole song. It's gonna get too repetitive. But that's why if you follow the groove instead of thinking about sequences or strumming patterns, that's just way better. So just to give you an example, if we're doing like down, up, chunk, up, down, up, chunk, up, down, up, chunk, up, down, up, chunk, up, down, up, down, up, chunk, up, down, up, chunk, up, down, up, down, up, chunk, up, down. It might sound good for like the first, 30 seconds of the song, 1 minute of the song, but afterwards you're like, man, that's a lot of that up chunk up down like that he's doing there, So
and it doesn't account for any changes in the song.
Yeah.
So once the bridge comes, it might change up a little bit, or when the chorus comes, you might not stick to that same exact pattern.
So that particular sequence is from Wonderful Tonight by Eric Clapton. So when you're playing that song, it's late in the evening, down, up, chunk, up, down, up. There's ups and downs in the song, I guess ups and downs in your strum. But ups and downs, what I mean by there's parts that will that's a little bit more exciting or a little bit more pulled back and stuff. That's what you want to follow. So she's wondering what clothes to wear. So if you just do up, chunk, up, down the whole time, in between that, that phrase and during the phrase where he's singing, then there's really no sense of build up, to at the end of that phrase. So instead you can do it's late in the evening, she's wondering what clothes to wear. Just changing it up a little bit adds so much to the song, as opposed to just here, just plug this in, play. It's kind of like using a drum machine. It's the same thing over and over,
And then there's where it changes, where it goes, and then she asked me.
Yeah. And then she asked me. So that same down, chunk, down, up, down, chunk, up, down, up. It changes. You don't want it to be the same thing over and over and over. You want there to be ups and downs in the song, and you want there to be movement. You want there to be groove, instead. So just follow the groove and strum according to the groove of the tune.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like when people ask questions like that, it's kind of like asking, what's your favorite note or what's your favorite chord? And it's like, I can tell you, like, I like D, or the A chord is pretty good.
Yeah.
But without context, that doesn't really, make any difference. So rhythm too, people think, oh, it has to be a set pattern and it has to, like, follow the lines, right? But with everything in music, what you're really trying to do is trying to emote. So if, you're playing a strumming pattern, or you're setting yourself in rhythm, it's kind of like stripping out some of the emotion that you can be adding in if you just, like, try to follow the groove, or try to listen for the cues of, like, well, I can ramp it up here, or I can let's take it back down.
So I have to admit, like, there's a reason why, like, teachers use strumming patterns, because it works. It allows people to grasp, like, what they're supposed to do in order to play a song. If you tell people exactly what they need to do, the ups and the downs of the strumming and whatever, then people feel a little bit more confident that they're playing it correctly. Yeah. So, and that's why I started using that in my teaching, and I can even go back all the way back to, like, our first video, not with Ukulele on the Ground. Is Sunday Morning with Ukulele on the Ground, or I Am Hawaii?
I Am Hawaii, I think.
Okay, in our I Am Hawaii video, Sunday morning, that's the first ever, like, nice little trivia here. First ever, I guess Aldrine and Aaron, produced ukulele tutorial, right? That's our very first one. Because the first video tutorial I've ever done, period, on the internet was with Ryan Isaki in his house, and I taught parallel octaves, which is, I don't know why I did that so hard, but we were at a park, and we had a couple friends kind of tune in. We were trying to figure out what the
lesson format.
The format for the lesson was going to be. We're like, oh, should we have students? Which is a great format, I thought. I think we should have followed through with that. But it's kind of tough to just get people when you're filming, so we abandoned it. But that's what it was, and we're just, like, kind of doing down up down up down up strum, and we're just following the strum and following the rhythm of the song. But come like, I guess the second or third episode where we taught, like, loud phrases from the quiet type. Is that on Ukulele on the Ground already? No. Not yet. Okay. So loud phrases from the quiet type is a song that I wrote. It goes like this. Very groovy kind of strum, and I liked it. I'm like, how do I tell people? Because it's not your simple down up down up down up anymore, So I was this was 2000 and I want to say 2007, something like that, right, 2006, 2007. And I'm like, what do I do? Like, how do I teach this? And then luckily, like, we were at Diamond Head Cove at this Ava bar, like, and I guess, what is that called? Like a acai bowl kind of place. We were sitting down, and my friend Aiko Yamashiro was there, and we were just kind of hanging out while we're filming this lesson. And she taught over at the Roy Sakuma Ukulele School. And she's like, well, why don't you, like, teach them exactly what you're doing, but break it down, because it's kind of long. It goes down, up, chunk, down, up, down, chunk, up, down, up, chunk, down, up, down, chunk, up, down, up. Thus, chunk was born. I didn't even know, like, what to call it, but, like, I'm sure people have called it chunk, whatever in the past, but that's kind of how it was born. I'm like, how do you explain that sound? Like, how do you explain that sound? So, like, like, so I'm like, chunk. Let's just say chunk. Down, up, chunk, down, down, chunk, up, down. So I explained it that way, and she's like, because she's the better teacher, so she's like, that's a little bit too long for people to catch on, especially beginners. I'm like, you're so good, Aiko, so good, still awesome. And she told me to just break it down into two. So it goes down, up, chunk, down, up. Just do that first, or down, up, chunk first, then down, up, chunk, down, up. And then the last one's up, chunk, up, down, up, chunk, up, down, up. So we did that, and it was kind of magical. Like, oh, I can kind of show people exactly how to play my song, like, to the T, to the strum, up, down, whatever, roll, chunk. And I'm like, this is amazing. People should do this. So we started doing that on Ukulele Underground after, like, I Am Hawaii closed down, and we've been doing it ever since. But I've just kind of noticed that in these recent years that we're just like, oh no, now people are, like, just simply asking for the strumming pattern, and they're not following the groove anymore. So we then saw that like this is not. It's good that people are picking up the uke and kind of enjoying it. That's the good thing, I think, because like I said, because it works, you know. But as far as like growing musicians, it's kind of tough because
Because I think like when you teach somebody a strumming pattern, the hope is that they learn it, get confident enough to play the rhythm of the song, the basic rhythm of the song,
and then groove on their own.
Yeah, and then take it further, right?
Yes.
And then like they eventually grow out of even needing strumming patterns or needing to ask that. But what we saw instead was that more people started asking for strumming patterns more often. As like, well, that's not the point. The point is that you should just hear a song and be able to play it. Maybe you need to ask like, what are the chords, or like look at the chords. But you should just eventually. I think a good place for musicians, or like something that musicians should strive for, is that they can go to people who are playing music, look at what they're playing or hear what they're playing, and then just jump in too, right? So like, yeah, like if you're being stopped by like saying, oh, I need the strumming pattern, or I need to know the chords, then it's like, well, that's not great, like that's kind of, it's not the worst thing, but it's also like, it delays the whole thing of like the enjoyment of just making music with your instrument, right? Like if you got to think about it that much.
Right. But that's, I'm pretty sure I've told that story before, but since like we get a lot of new audiences and stuff, that's kind of the origins for me and for Ukulele Underground of strumming patterns, because like I said, I'm sure strumming patterns was a thing, way before that. But as far as like internet ukulele learning, that's kind of where it started. Yeah.
We still get questions on our channel and stuff. Like, what is the strumming pattern? Yeah, stuff. And it's like, we have a lesson and it'll show you how to strum.
And then now it's like there's people calling it stuff like island strum or what. It's like that's cool, but like that's where it came from. So if anyone was interested, like where that stuff came from, it's that. Also chunk, not chunk. Yeah. OG, man, Kai wasn't even here yet, and we were doing like strumming patterns and stuff and chunk.
I just like looked, and I think there's like a description of UU where it's like for almost 10 years, but I'm like, no, it's almost like it's gonna
14 years.
The next big milestone is like 15 years for us, right? 15. It's closer to 15 than 10. So
this year, right? We make 15 years, or the end of this year. It is 2022.
Yeah, so I'm saying 2022
because
minus.
We launched
the
December
end of this year.
Yeah, December, but official launch was January 2008 for Ukulele Underground. So we got to do something special. 15 years. Uke maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. All right, Kahai, one more. We got time for one more.
Sure. Lynn said, I bought a Luna and the strings are so thick they hurt my fingers compared to my Enya with thinner strings. Do you have a recommendation for a string so I can change them? Thank you.
Ooh, I would be the person to ask, I guess, but I do like thick, very hard tension strings. But yeah, I if you want thinner or softer kind of strings, like Aquila, I guess, like would be a thing. Everyone likes Aquila. Let's see, Worth strings are not that bad. For me personally, I would go with like Martin's, like Martin clear strings, fluorocarbon clears. Those are really good. Savarez is also really good. But like lower tension Savarez, not the super high tension Savarez, but like lower tension Savarez. What else? Let's see, just personal preferences. People are like, oh, this brand or this brand or this brand, which I'm sure is good, but as soon as I found the strings for me, I kind of stopped experimenting with strings, and there's a bunch of stuff that came out. Like, the strings that like Jason guys make, that's really good. I've tried that on some of my PhD strings. That feels really nice. Living Water strings, I've heard a lot about. I haven't personally tried them, but I guess I did. I've played ukuleles with living strings on them, and it sounds great.
Carbon.
So that's also really good. Try those. There's lots of places to go.
Yeah. And
I would, as far as thin strings, probably Martin.
Martins.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard too, right? Because you can have thin strings, but then just the way that it's strung on your ukulele, the tension can be high or so.
Yeah, it depends on the ukulele.
Yeah.
So don't expect to change your strings and then all of a sudden it becoming easier. I mean, it can help, but yeah, you gotta experiment with that kind of stuff.
Because they talked about 2 different ukuleles as well. So like maybe on one ukulele the tension is a little bit higher than that. So that might be a thing too. But in that case, then find like a lower tension strings.
Yeah, and find strings and then maybe you take it into a shop or ask them if they can look at the tension, if the tension is too high or if they can adjust it for you too.
Yeah, so there you go. Good. Yeah. Well, I guess we have time for one more. That was nice and quick. I should go into a diatribe and stuff, but go ahead.
So Carefree Delight said, "What do you think about an electric ukulele? My son bought me a Fender electric ukulele."
I think they're fun. You know, like I have an old school LA uke, and I think that's fun. My ukulele, I guess, is considered electric. You can plug it in. You can like put it in like put it in some like pedals and stuff. It can be an electric uke. You know, so electric uke is kind of. You mean solid body ukulele, like a solid body ukulele? Then
Yeah.
But if we're talking just electric uke, because you mentioned Fender, so it's probably like like a Fender ukulele that's kind of like this, but you can plug it in. Whereas that means like any ukulele, because any ukulele you make into an electric ukulele, which I'm then good for. Like I'm all for electric ukes. I like electric ukes.
Like
amplified, ukuleles. I like to play loud ukulele. Jake got it right in his first DVD. Like, play loud ukulele, because why not? Because whatever. Who cares what the neighbors think, right, Kai?
The first part of the question got me excited because a true electric ukulele, like a solid body or a semi-hollow body with like metal strings that is amplified in the same way that an electric guitar is amplified. That's pretty exciting to me. But then,
bam, Fender.
Fender ukulele just means an ukulele with a pickup in it. And
because like we've said this before, like Fender probably has the resources to make a solid body,
one of the best.
Yeah, guys, just make a small Strat. You just make exactly what a Strat is. And and put like metal strings on it. Just go all the way. Don't think ukulele. Go think just like a smaller Strat tuned to a GCEA.
Yeah,
like that's it.
Actually, they have done something similar. It's not exactly. It's like a tenor guitar sized Telecaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's semi-hollow, right, or something like that.
Yeah, or something like that. And that's probably the closest that you're gonna get. It's sort of like a baritone ukulele, like a solid body baritone ukulele. So that's probably the closest that you're gonna get
to like an electric
from Fender, and that and even those are like pretty hard to come by. But yeah, it just feels
talk to.
It feels like such a missed opportunity because they saw that ukuleles were popular and they're just riding the wave of like ukuleles. Let's make some Fender branded ukuleles, but you could do so much better, Fender.
Yeah, because you guys make good. I mean, I'm a big Fender fan. I have a Strat myself, an American Strat, like at home, and I love that. Just make that. But then, like, an ukulele the size of an ukulele, tune like an ukulele. Yeah. But don't make it. Don't make an ukulele. Just make a small Strat. You could tune like a uke. I think that's where where it should start. And then but even more so. I mean, I love Fender, and I think that would be sick. I would get a Telly version of that. That would be that'd be amazing. A yellow Telly, But right. But hear me out, guys. The Taylor T5, but make it into an ukulele. Like that kind of, semi-hollow like T5 that they have, which is like acoustic electric. Over the moon for it. I'm here for it, Cal. What about you? Are you a Taylor fan?
Yeah. I tried some of the T5 and so.
I mean, it makes sense because like the demand for something like that would be so small. Like only musicians that really want a certain type of sound would want it. And so it makes sense. Like all these big companies just making like mass marketed ukuleles that
Yeah,
are just
totally.
standard ukuleles.
Safe sell.
Yeah. That warrants
Yeah.
giving enough resources to that. But
Because there are solid body ukuleles, but usually they're made by very small companies or
Small,
by
yeah.
like
Yeah.
you found one, Aaron, right, where it's like somebody in South Africa and it's just them making it. So it's
Yeah.
like stuff like that. But you can find stuff and
Yeah.
like we talked to Andrew Molina because he plays electric uke and he kind of does some stuff with that.
yeah,
And so,
Flight makes one.
Flight.
yeah.
Mhm.
So-
And Risa does a pretty good Telly and Strat style and Les Paul style ukulele, like a true ukulele with steel strings.
You have one, right? From Kamoa.
Yeah,
But
I have
it's
one
like
from
Evolve,
Kamoa.
the
That was
Evolve
one of
series.
the early ones that were pretty good.
Yeah. Some people might be thinking like, well, what's the difference if you have an acoustic ukulele that you can just plug in, like, you know? But there is like a difference, and we kind of talked about that in the podcast with Andrew, right? I think, or like, and some other podcasts around there where it's like, if somebody wants to really get into electric uke, they kind of have to treat it as a completely different instrument.
Yeah, in
Not
the
just
same
as,
way
like-
that you would treat an electric
electric
guitar
guitar.
different from like an amplified guitar, like a acoustic electric. Yeah.
Yeah. So before we go, I just kind of want to get I just want to ask the audience something, just get a feel for whatever. I have this idea in my head. But we, here on Ukulele on the Ground, every other Friday, we do a Aloha Friday Live Jam. And then, or we do the podcast. Every other Friday, we do that. It's like Aloha Friday Live Jam, podcast, Aloha Friday Live Jam, podcast. And sometimes, well, back then, for Aloha Friday Live Jam, every now and then, instead of having an Aloha Friday Live Jam, we have an Aloha Friday Live Concert. Okay, so we do that sometimes where Aaron and I will just kind of jam for people. Like we're professional musicians, you know, outside of being online ukulele educators. We've performed pretty much, you know, in a bunch of different places. We love performing for people. So how many of you folks, or would you guys be interested in seeing us and doing, you know, a little bit more of these like live concerts here on Ukulele on the Ground? Would you guys be interested in doing more live concerts? So it'll be kind of like me and Aaron, but you know, every now and then maybe we'll bring like a special guest in. Maybe we'll have Mike play with us or something. You know, like people have seen Mike on this on Thursday or the podcast, but never really heard him play. So maybe Mike can do a set with us one of the times, or maybe some of the guests like Joey Charles might be in town and you can have him and stuff, or Kaniho we can kind of get in. So there's all these cool special guests that we could bring in and kind of make a concert series. So let me know if you guys would be interested. How would we get some emails in, Kai? Is there an email that people can email stuff to? Let's just kind of see what the responses are.
Yeah, people are already saying that.
Oh, yeah?
They look forward, like, that sounds good.
Okay, so I'm kind of, you know, like I'm trying to clean up this idea in my head, but I just want to know if you guys would be into it. But we do stuff where like, hey everyone, come check us out, and then like nobody watches, you know. We're like, oh man, I was excited for it, you know. But yeah, so I'll kind of hash out this idea in my head and I'll let you guys know. I was just trying to get a feel for if anybody was interested, because yeah, Aaron and I love playing. We love performing for people, and we kind of want to do some of that stuff again. So that's and we don't really get to tour as much as we used to, thanks to this stuff that's happening around the world right now. I'm kind of a hypochondriac. I don't really like going out for places, but I would love to still perform for as much people as we can reach, Kahai. So look forward to something like that, especially for all of you UU Plus subscribers. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, head over to ukuleleunderground.com and sign up for UU Plus. You can take private lessons with yours truly. You can watch exclusive videos in Ukulele Underground. We have stuff like Ukulele 101, 100, 102, Hawaiian 101. We have UU Plus solos where you can learn Strawberry Fields Forever this month. We have tons of other like songs and Beatles songs and whatever you guys want to learn over on UU Plus. Yeah, and learn from different teachers like Imu Garza. We have Neil Chen, I think, on there. We have Chris Salvador. We have Bruce Shimabukuro. Lots of other cool teachers that are teaching some pretty interesting stuff. So make sure you check that out. UU Plus over at ukuleleontheground.com. So if you like the show, if you like Aloha Friday Live Jam, the best way to support us is by signing up for UU Plus. So don't do stuff like, where can I send you guys a tip or whatever? Like, just sign up for that, because we'd rather, we'd rather you get something out of it too. Yeah, like I'd rather give you a couple of 15-minute private lessons or whatever, even if it's just for that. Oh, what was that? Oh,
Just a glitch.
Oh.
That new Matrix movie came
Right
out.
on. So yeah, that's the best way. Sign up for UU Plus over at ukuleleontheground.com. We'll get some awesome stuff.
The other way too, is go to UU Shop.
Yes, I was just about to say, head over to UU Shop, shop.ukuleleunderground.com, shop.ukuleleunderground.com. We don't have a lower third for it yet, but we will soon.
All right. It's in the description.
Oh, it's in the description. Shop.ukuleleunderground.com. We have ukuleles for sale over there. I've handpicked some Kanilea ukuleles that you guys can check out. There is an Aldrin Guerrero model that's available there. I picked the best one. Trust me, there's a bunch of other Aldrin Guerrero models out there. They're all beautiful, but I picked the best one for myself for my old website. So check it out over at the shop.ukuleleunderground.com. We also have Hawaiian lessons that you guys can check out. We have, I think, a Christmas bundle that we did. You guys got 11 months to practice till next Christmas. We have Ukulele 100, and very soon we'll be starting our Ukulele 101, and it'll be available there. And also apparel very soon. We just got the stuff in, so people are like, I remember seeing a comment last week. They're like, oh, that means he's not gonna do it. We'll try means we're not gonna do it. Ha! Joke's on you, bud. We are. We're gonna try. Joke's on you, because we're gonna try.
Yeah. Well, we got some apparel that's gonna be put into the shop soon, and then hopefully we can create some new apparel.
So we're gonna try to do some new apparel. There's some apparel is gonna be on there. So if you want to represent Ukulele Underground in IRL, right, Kai? That's what people say, right?
Yeah.
You guys can sport like an Ukulele Underground shirt, hat, hoodie, whatever. I don't know if we have hoodies.
Get UU drip. I believe that's
the drop is coming soon.
You wanna be busted.
You want to get exactly. You want to have the drip. So you can take your fit pic for your IG, right?
Yeah. We're so down with the kids.
Heck yeah, man. Dab or whatever. Is there people still doing that?
You need the skateboard like Steve Buscemi.
Yeah, it fellow children. But it's gonna be cool. So check out shop.ukuleleunderground.com. We're going to be updating it very soon with some apparel. Okay, and sign up for UU Plus. We'll see you folks next time. Have a great one. Enjoy. Take care. Also, after this, we have UU Plus live coaching. So all of you UU Plus members, I just said, it's awesome stuff happening in UU Plus. Just like me giving a nice little mini coaching session right after this show. That's happening in about 12 minutes over on UU Plus. So head over there, and I'll see you next time. Aloha, stay safe.